living life is stage. Hey, hey, 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 love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream. Living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey.
Hey y'all, I am here. Oh my goodness. I'm on super late tonight because I wasn't really supposed to be on tonight, but I was supposed to be on tonight. So for those of you who did tune on earlier, I'm sorry, things were crazy. StreamYard did not want to act right. I was having all kinds of technical difficulties. So y'all know how I am. I am committed to this thing. Hey, Lachey, yes, girl, I am super late. But I did go on earlier today, and that's what I was kind of explaining because I was on someone else's podcast. And so once a month, I've been asked by the AIDS Outreach Center to facilitate, moderate conversations that they are having with Black women in the Tarrant County area. And so the last time I was on, we were talking about, oh my gosh, what did we talk about? Oh, women, Black women, and just our medical health and being advocates for ourselves when it comes to our health. And then today we talked about mental health, but we were having some technical difficulties and different things. And I was going to try to do my podcast in conjunction with their podcast, and it just wasn't working. I went live for a while, but I could tell that the sound really wasn't good. I didn't have a whole lot of y'all on here. People were jumping on and then jumping off. I couldn't really get into the comments. So I'm like, you know what? When I get home this evening, I'm going to do another live. Hey, Tamika, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. But yeah, tonight was a great conversation. We met at oh my gosh, what was it called? La Cremium. And it is a Black owned, woman owned coffee shop / ice cream shop. They had homemade ice cream there. She had lemon, cookies and cream, chocolate cream, vanilla, hazelnut, all different kinds of ice cream. And it's so funny because your boy Wallace has never been to that ice cream shop before. He had heard about it and seen it, and we were supposed to go there, but there ended up being an explosion on the block where her ice cream shop is. So she hadn't even gotten to do her grand opening or anything. And that block looks like a war zone. And so we never got a chance to make it. But it's so funny, even though we've never been there, Wallace calls me before he comes to pick me up or on his way to pick me up and was like, is the ice cream shop still open? Bring me home some ice cream. I'm like, babe, I already got you. I had already purchased him some ice cream. So we're going to be snacking on that or tasting that. I got a chocolate, a lemon, and a vanilla. But anyway, hey y'all, I'm your girl Stae, and I am on here just to chat. I just wanted to chat with y'all. We had such a good conversation tonight about mental health. And if I didn't already say it, yes, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we need to have mental health awareness every single day. And so we just talked about one of the things y'all know I talk about all the time, which is the value in having a counselor, a therapist, being proactive with that kind of stuff, like not waiting until you feel like you're in trouble to get therapy, because we all have some things that we need to work through, and we can benefit from having a therapist to do that, right? We all have maybe some childhood trauma, past relationship trauma, baggage that we're carrying. We just go through different transitions in our life where every day is not going to be rainbows and lollipops and unicorns. So it's great to have somebody who we can just have these conversations with, somebody who is completely outside of our normal day-to-day life, someone who's going to be completely non-judgmental, who is going to be able to give us good sound advice, but that listening piece of it is so much. So we had my girl Lakedra was on the show today, and Dr. Lakedra Brown, and she is a licensed therapist, but she was saying even as a therapist, she has a therapist, because the thing is, when you deal with people who are in therapy, psychiatry, the medical profession, people who are in ministry, people who are coaches, where we on a regular and daily basis deal with other people's stresses and traumas, now that's like twofold for us, because now we have our own stuff, because just because you're in a certain profession doesn't exempt you from dealing with the same things. It's not like a cardiologist can't also have heart disease, you know what I mean? So just because you're in a certain profession, it doesn't exempt you from having certain issues. But then it gets compounded, because you have to be an empathetic person, or you should be an extremely empathetic person to be in that type of profession. So then you kind of take on other people's problems and issues with which compound your own. And so it's really important to be able to do that. And so we also talked about what we do as individuals to keep ourselves in check and to make sure that we're staying mentally healthy. And what Dr. Lakedra said is she does something on a daily basis that she calls a brain dump, where she will literally, like, not regular journaling, but where she will literally just sit down with a pen and pad, and just anything that's in her mind, she just kind of writes it down and works through it. So she was saying it's things like, okay, I need to go buy those shoes I was looking at tomorrow. Do I really need those shoes? No, I don't need those shoes. Let me check that off. Oh yeah, I need to put gas in my car. And oh yeah, did I talk to such and such a person? So she said that really helped her, because one of the things that she struggled with the most, which is one of my issues as well, is not having the ability to fully wind down and get not only sleep at night, but restful sleep. So that deep sleep where your mind is definitely in that REM stage and you are just at rest, because there's a difference in sleep and rest. And that's what I say all the time. Like Michael Jackson died not trying to get sleep. He died trying to get rest. He was trying to pay for some rest, because that's a difference. And she was explaining that when she does what she calls the brain dump and just writes all these random thoughts down, that really literally clears her mind. And she says she's able to sleep. And that's something I need to start doing, because one of the things that keeps me up at night, or keeps me from being able to fall asleep, or keeps me, because most of the time I'm able to fall asleep because I'm tired, but it's the staying asleep and getting that deep sleep. And usually it's those random thoughts. Who do I need to call? Did I call this person? Or why did that person say what they said today? Or was that person really trying to diss me today? Or did I take that the wrong way? And you know what? I need to wash a load of clothes. Do I still have clothes in the washer? Oh my goodness, those clothes are going to be sour. Should I get up and rewash the clothes now, or just let it go till tomorrow? Did I feed Lux this evening? Like, those are all the things that are on my mind with that wake me up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I can't go back to sleep. And so I really love that she shared that, because that's something I'm going to try, is just kind of to try to clear my mind and think of everything I might need to think of before I go to sleep. And it would even be something great I could see to even do during the day or whatever. But yeah, she said whatever I'm thinking about and writing down may not make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me and it helps me. And so I love that. And we just talked about, self-care. Y'all know I am really big into self-care. L.Y.F.E, love yourself first explicitly. I talk to y'all all the time about the importance of not only keeping your cup full, but keeping your cup overflowing. And so we talked about what that looked like for each of us. And there is a portion of this is on my YouTube channel right before this one. But again, the quality just wasn't that great. And so I just thought that it was important to jump on and just kind of explain to y'all why that video was a little wonky and not my norm. And so we're going to do this every other month. So the next time is going to be July 18th, but I'm going to try to see how I can make it work where I can really broadcast it to you all in real time and make it have some kind of, the good quality. And that might be enlisting Wallace, because Wallace is already my driver. Every time we do this, he takes me to the location and picks me up. But maybe I can talk him into staying and kind of manning my technology and getting it out there, because the conversations are great. Because July 18th, we're going to be talking about women and our sexual health and our sexual mindset and our sex lives and how we think about sex and our attitudes towards sex and our mindsets about sex and all of that. So July is going to be a really interesting one. And of course, some of us already start chitting and chatting about the topic a little bit this evening. And so that was funny. And we're going to start, bringing some new women into the fold. So I really love this vision that Kelly had and bringing these women together. And I love the fact that everyone involved is somehow a part of her sister circle. But some of us have already known each other. Some of us are meeting for the first time. And we all just kind of have different friendships with Kelly based on how we met Kelly, how long we've known Kelly, what our relationships are, but we're all tied to her in some way. And I just love how she's bringing us all together to be able to talk about these different things. So it was really, really, really a great evening. And then of course we got to get our wine. So my girl Yolanda was there, who was our mobile bartender. And because we were having charcuterie and everything tonight, she brought an array of different fine wines. So, of course we're getting down to business. We're talking about the things, but we're socializing as well. So that was really good. And I was so grateful to Kelly for being able to spotlight that Black-owned, woman-owned ice cream shop. And she was just so grateful to have us there. And we were able to connect because there's some things that she's wanting to do and getting involved with the chamber and the community. And she's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that somebody connected to the chamber was going to be here. So I was able to give her that information. So it was really good, but I just enjoyed. That is definitely one of my biggest joys in what I do, is being able to meet and connect with different women and just share experiences and be able to find out how much we are alike as well as how much we're different. And it's always nice when you can sit down with a group of people who aren't shy about being vulnerable and candid and transparent, because we learn so much from each other. One of the women shared this evening that she has a relative who, at the time of this incident was 17 years old and, came to her in distress and saying that they did not feel like they wanted to continue on in life and that they were considering deleting themselves and they really didn't want any help. And she was at a loss. She didn't know what to do. And so she did everything she could do, but she's not a professional mental health provider. And so she wasn't sure if what she was doing was the right thing. And she said, and after dealing with them and trying to help them get through, and they're still struggling. And she said it's been about 10 years, but it's still every day a battle. But we talked about, how it can be difficult when you have a close relationship with someone, a family member, a spouse, a child who has really, really deep mental health issues and are having certain types of thoughts, that can then cause you to have certain mental issues, just, depression yourself because of the empathy you have for them, or maybe you feeling that you were inadequate to help them, not knowing what resources that are out there, because that's something she struggled with. She didn't know what the resources were. She didn't know how to go about getting this person the help that they needed. So she just did her best, but it caused her to have certain issues that can cause a certain level of PTSD, just kind of always being on eggshells and things like that, just not knowing, what's going to happen from day to day. And so, we were able to talk about those resources and the things that you should do, because we're not all equipped to be able to handle that. That's why there are certain people in those professions, because we don't necessarily have the tools, but what we should all have is access to the tools, access to the resources. And so we talked about that a lot tonight as well. And just the process of how you even go about finding the right help and what's right for you. And so it was just a great conversation. I wish so much that I would have been able to share it with y'all in real time. That was definitely my intent. But if you saw that earlier video, I was turning my laptop around trying to catch people. In the shop that we were in, it's an ice cream coffee shop, and it's really, really small. It's downtown Fort Worth. And we were, limited on space. And so the way we set up, but it was funny, but it wasn't funny. But I'm like, I know my people were on there like, what in the world is Stae doing? But I just wanted to make sure that I was able to bring y'all the information. But yeah, today has just been funny to me anyway, because first of all, I woke up this morning, and thank you so much for that heart, whoever gave me that heart, because I'm like, I'm up here running my mouth and they really like, girl, we ain't trying to listen to you. But I woke up this morning and it was pitch black outside. I woke up to thunder and lightning, like thunder so loud and hard that it actually shook my house. And it is pouring down rain, like sheets and sheets of rain. And I had a hair appointment today for a silk press of all things. Everybody knows that rain and silk presses don't match. And I go to Press Roots, and Press Roots don't play about them appointments. They don't care about the rain or not. If you don't cancel 24 hours ahead of time, you are going to pay, I think it's like for 50% or whatever. And your girl don't be trying to waste no money. Plus, I knew I had this today, and so I needed my hair done. So I went and got my hair done and was just like, am I going to be able to hold on to my silk press? Because the rain was supposed to still be going even tonight. Hey, Lene, thank you so much for being here, sister. I appreciate you. But luckily the rain let up. So I took my satin lined shower cap with me to my appointment. And so I took the shower cap with me to my appointment, and then I wore my shower cap to the car, wrapped my hair when I got home, and kept it wrapped until it was time to go. And so it stayed straight. And I told her just to do it like bone straight, because I figured it would be a little easier to maintain, because when they do it bone straight, they get it bone straight. But when they curl it sometimes, because you want the body, it's not as straight and it tends to poof up a little quicker. So I told her to do it bone straight, and I held on. But y'all, these roots are silver, and it's just my roots because my hair is already colored and it's growing out. But your girl is gray. I'm gray. And every time I get my hair done, I always say, oh, I'm gonna get it colored before I get it pressed. And then I don't remember. So, thank you, Lene. I appreciate your support so much. That is so kind of you. I definitely appreciate you so much. And I don't usually jump on this late. So I am so excited that y'all have decided to tune in on Facebook and on YouTube, because y'all don't have to be here. So I definitely appreciate you so much. And y'all know, as usual, the link is pinned to the top. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this evening, but if anybody wants to click the link and join me up here on the screen, if you have a question, if you have anything that you'd like to share or add, it is always an open door. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I hate the fact that I missed you when I was in Pittsburgh. I'm hoping to get back up there before the end of the summer. We shall see, because I had not been home in over 6 years, I don't think. So I'm trying not to make it be so long next time, but I don't have any definite plans. But I have to be sure that we connect, because I sent you a message. But that's the thing too. I need to text you my phone number and we can switch phone numbers, because I know I'm horrible with checking my messenger. Every once in a while, I'll remember, or if I happen to have my phone when one pops up, I'll check. But yeah, it was just good to talk. We just talked about how a lot of times we pride ourselves at being strong, and being strong has it. Oh, Lene, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, girl, don't make me feel bad. I know I hate it because we have not seen each other. It seems like almost 30 years. So I will definitely be back. I will be back. But we talked about how sometimes we're enablers. Like, we talk about being strong. We talk about the fact that we want to be there for everybody. And one of the ladies was discussing, oh, okay, that's what it is. So we got to exchange phone numbers. That's all. We just got to exchange phone numbers, because I know, everybody doesn't use that messenger. But we were, just saying how we feel like we have to be there for people. So one of the ladies who's a business owner, Nana's Kitchen, she owns Nana's Kitchen. Her name is Tasha. And she was saying that she wanted to do a solo trip. And so she had put it off for a long time because she felt like, she owns a restaurant. She has a family. She has all these things going on. And she felt like she couldn't go away because what's going to happen to all these things? So many people depend on me. And so she went away, and she just went away for a couple of days. And guess what? Nothing happened. Everything still was intact. Everything was running the way it needed to run. And she was fine, and they were fine. And that's what happens. A lot of times we have to do everything for everybody and be there for everybody because that's what we do, and they allow us to do it. We really don't have to, but it's like, hey, if you're going to do it, I'm going to let you do it. And so we enable people to be dependent upon us. So then the next time she decided to go away, I think she said she stayed away for like 2 weeks. And she said, and everything was still fine, and she had a good time, and she wasn't worried about it. And that's what we have to remember as women. It is not our job to be there for everybody all the time. And people can most of the time take care of themselves and take care of business way better than we give them credit for. And it is something in us that we need, and we need to work out as to why is it that we're putting ourselves in this position to be everything to everybody. It's something about it, no matter how much we complain about it, because we're the ones at the end of the day that are making that final decision to say yes or no, to do it or not to do it, to be there or not to be there. I don't care how much we say, oh, well, they need us, or they asked me, or they're not going to be able to do this. You still are the one who's making that decision. And so you have to figure out what is it that you're getting out of it. And sometimes, and I tell y'all all the time, we have to be able to look at that woman or man in the mirror and be 100% honest with ourselves. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And if we find ourselves spreading ourselves too thin, stressing out about everything, not having any boundaries, being worn out, operating on fumes, we still have to figure out what sort of satisfaction are we getting from that. And sometimes you have to be honest and maybe say that the satisfaction that you're getting out of it is just by being able to wear that badge of honor of saying, oh, I'm everything to everybody. I'm just a people pleaser. I do this and that. And if that's the case, that's fine. Just work through that and figure out why you need that type of validation. We can't blame other people for what we do. Y'all know, you teach people how to treat you. And so if somebody is running you ragged, if somebody is constantly pulling on you, if somebody is causing you to have to run on fumes, that's because you haven't created that boundary. That's because you have not made it clear that that's not the position you want to play in their lives. And it's so much easier when you're able to figure out the part you play, because once you figure that out, then that means you can do something about it. There is nothing you can do about what other people do and how other people act. So if you constantly blame it on them and what they do and what they ask and how they act, then you're giving them all the control. But when you can look at it and say, you know what? I'm the one who's not saying no. I'm the one who keeps accepting that poor behavior. I'm the one who keeps running every time they call. I'm the one who keeps going to the ATM machine or cash apping every time they ask for money. I'm the one who's doing that. And so the only one you can blame for that is yourself. And so then once you come to that realization, then you realize that you have a decision to make. Either you're going to continue to do that and you're going to continue to accept that from that person, or you're going to stop. And another reason why we continue to do those things sometimes, even though we may not want to, is because we have some sort of fear. We have fear. We don't want them to be mad at us. We don't want them to feel like we don't care about them. We maybe don't want to feel guilty because we're not confident in our no. You have to be confident in your no's. Your no's need to be no, and your yeses need to be yes. But you have to be confident in that. And what you also have to realize is if someone is going to no longer want to be in relationship with you, if someone is going to be upset with you, if someone is going to harbor bad feelings towards you because you said no to them in order to do what was best for you, then that's not somebody that you need to have in your life anyway. That's somebody who is only caring about themselves. That's somebody who is completely selfish in the most negative of ways, because people who really care for you, they're going to want you to take care of yourself. They're going to want you to do what's best for you. They're not going to want you to sacrifice your health, your well-being, your mental stability for them. They can understand when you can't always do it. And so those are the things that we have to think about when it comes to our mental health and our mental well-being. What parts are we playing in keeping ourselves in this negative headspace? What parts are we playing in keeping ourselves in these negative relationships? And then be able to work from there. And I'm telling you, when you have those real, honest, candid conversations with yourself, they are game changers. They are literally life changers. You will see, again, any change, especially when it's something that we've become so used to, even when it's bad habits. When we try to do the right thing, it's hard at first. And we know that even when we're talking about our healthy lifestyle journeys and the decisions that we make to eat better and go to the gym, because we talked about that tonight as well. In the very beginning, it can be difficult. You don't want to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and work out. You don't want to choose broccoli over chocolate cake. It's difficult because we have grown accustomed to do the wrong thing. Like if you're a cigarette smoker, you know you don't need to be smoking cigarettes. You know that that's not healthy for you. And you decide to make that change to stop. It's going to be difficult at first. Even though the change that you're making is for your good, it's still going to be difficult at first because that's just what you're used to. That's what your body is used to. That's what your brain is used to. And so as you're making these new changes, there's going to be some growing pains, but you have to stick to it. And just like you created that bad habit, you can now replace it with a good habit, but you just can't give up. You have to push through. You have to realize, yeah, this is not going to be the most comfortable at first. But once you get on the other side of that, life is so much better. And just like I said, think about it. Do you think that people who quit smoking after smoking for 20 years, and let's say that they had 2 weeks, 2 months of misery in quitting, they're going through withdrawals, they're cranky, they got a bad attitude, but how many people who finally have the success in quitting that you could talk to a year later who would say, I wish I never quit smoking? Who's going to say that? How many people do you know who went through a healthy lifestyle journey and lost 20, 30, 40, 100 pounds? And even though in the very beginning, it was the most difficult thing in the world, they couldn't see the end. They couldn't see themselves dropping those pounds. But the people who were successful in it, how many of them now would say, oh, I wish I would have never lost that weight? And so that's what you have to think about when you're making these changes in your life. As long as you know that the end result is going to be something positive, then that should be enough to give you the energy and the motivation to push through the difficult parts, because you know once you push through that, the end result is going to be so well worth it. And the end result is going to last. If you stick to it, if you commit to it, you're going to be able to live in that healthy, more free, more abundant lifestyle for way longer than that period of time that you're in that difficult place, right? And so that's what you have to think about. Like, yeah, I can go through 2 months of being upset, 2 months of discomfort, 2 weeks of discomfort to give me a lifetime of positivity, to give me a lifetime of better health, to give me a lifetime of mental clarity, right? And so you have to weigh out those pros and cons and just know that this difficult time is temporary. It's a part of the process. It's a necessary part of the process, but it's temporary. And the reasons why I'm going through this difficult time outweigh by far what I'm feeling right now. And so those are the kind of things that you have to think about when you're making your choices in life, for the relationships that you continue to entertain, for maybe some of the bad habits that you have. Whatever it is, you have to think about what it is, your end result, what it is that you're hoping to gain. And that's why I love having those conversations with other people, because, and why I love sharing them with y'all, because I know, you know, y'all hear me all the time and it's like, yeah, she's saying the same thing, but it also works for me because there were so many things just today. And every time I am in groups like this, I walk away, number one, feeling like I'm not alone, because somebody is going to say something that resonates with me 100%, that maybe I've been toiling over. And it's like, okay, so I'm not the only one who feels like that. Okay, so I'm not the only one who deals with that. And it's going to make me feel better, because I know myself and Lakedra Brown had a couple of those moments today where she said something and I'm like, girl, you too? And it's like, yes, high five. Okay, I thought it was only me. And I love that. Every time I'm in groups like that, is something like that. And then on the other hand, there's things that I haven't dealt with that it's just for me to hear somebody else's experience. It's like, wow, you know, it's just amazing to know the things that people have been through and pushed through and end up coming out victorious and triumphant. And you just realize again that you're not by yourself, because even if you're not going through the same thing as somebody else, just knowing that other people are going through things. And it's not like a misery loves company thing, but it's just that feeling of belonging, that feeling of sisterhood, that feeling of family, and just letting you know that you're not crazy, because that's something else we talked about tonight. That word crazy. Hey, Michelle, how are you? That feeling, that word crazy gets tossed around, especially when you become a woman of a certain age, right? We're going through certain things. Our bodies are changing. It's almost like going through puberty in reverse, right? We're trying to learn our bodies. The things we used to do, we can't do anymore. The things we used to eat, we can't eat anymore. We're trying, I mean, it's like, who am I, right? Our hair doesn't grow the same and act the same. Our nails ain't the same. I mean, it's just like so many things. Our skin starts to change. Our eyesight starts to change. It's just a lot. And so it can start to play on your mental, right? Because you are trying to get to know yourself all over again. And so there's nothing like being in a group of women who are dealing with some of the same things, because other people don't understand and they'll be quick to call you crazy. You crazy. I mean, just when you're sitting in a room and it's 60 degrees and you're burning up. Have any of you ever been through that? And people like, what you mean you hot? Girl, you crazy. It's cold in here. No, I'm not crazy. I'm hot and I'm 52 and I'm going through menopause. Oh, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Lene. But yeah, that word crazy, and people say that and they don't realize how that can resonate, because when you're already dealing with certain things that you don't understand yourself, when you're already in this kind of place in your life where you are a little confused, girl, I think we all, like I said, when we hit a certain age, go through things like that and people looking at us all bizarre. But when you're already dealing with that kind of stuff, for somebody to discount your feelings and what you're going through, or for somebody to call you crazy, that can start to play games in your mind, because even though you know what you're dealing with, again, words are very, very, very strong, and they can penetrate in ways that you don't even realize. And so many times, you know, like we'll say, I don't care what people say, it doesn't bother me, but it gets in there somewhere and it'll have you doubting yourself, like, am I crazy? Because why does everybody seem to think that? So we have to not only pay attention to the things that we say to ourselves, because sometimes we can be the worst ones when it comes to the negative talk to ourselves, but we also have to pay attention to what other people say to us and what we allow people to say to us. I remember watching a podcast, and I can't remember, I know it was Mel Robbins' podcast, but I don't remember who her guest was, but she was saying that she always just thought a little bit different than people in her family, and she dreamed a little bit bigger, and she had different types of aspirations, and they would always call her crazy. And she used to look at crazy as almost like a term of endearment, until she got older and realized by them saying that, it used to keep her from trying different things and putting herself out there because they had already set up that as soon as she mentioned something, oh, you crazy, you crazy. Why would you do that? And so it held her back. And even though she didn't really take it personally when it was happening, but as she got older and started moving forward, she realized how that really had traumatized her. And so we have to be careful and what we allow people to say to us. And when I say allow people to say to us, yeah, I said it right. That's exactly what I mean. When someone says something negative to you, if someone responds to you in a way that you feel is inappropriate when you're dealing with something that's serious to you, there is absolutely nothing wrong. And it's actually necessary for you to say to that person, I don't like when you talk to me or respond to me in that way. When you say that I'm crazy when I'm expressing something to you, that makes me feel a certain kind of way. And I know you may not mean it that seriously, but I'm going to need you to choose different words because, again, we teach people how to treat us. People say things a lot of times and let things come out of their mouth and they're not thinking anything of it. It doesn't mean anything, or they'll think like, oh, well, you know me, you know I don't mean any harm. That's just how I talk. Well, you can't talk that way to me. I don't appreciate that because it's our job. People don't know what they don't know. But if you continue to allow that, then they have no incentive or reason to correct it. And so even if it's someone's tone of voice, even if it's the language they use, if it's something that is making you feel anything other than uplifted, protected, and safe, you have a right to say, that's not the kind of language that I respond to. When I'm telling you that something is bothering me, don't tell me that I'm crazy. Don't tell me that I'm silly. Don't tell me that that's ridiculous, because ridiculous, that's one of my triggers. That is one of my triggers. Don't tell me that something is ridiculous. Don't tell me I'm delusional, because again, those words have power, and I just don't have the mental bandwidth to always be having to determine what you really mean and what you're just playing or how you just talk. Let's just use words that don't make me have to guess. Let's just talk to each other in a way where we mean what we say and we say what we mean. And if you don't mean that strong word, then don't use that strong word. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to protect our mental at all times, because our brain is very sensitive and absorbs everything. And those are the kind of things that'll have you up thinking about stuff in the middle of the night. And so I am just a believer in correcting stuff right when it happens, not letting stuff fester, teaching people how to treat you, letting them know what you will accept, what you will tolerate, and what you won't. Because if you just leave it up to them, then you're opening yourself up for any and everything. And even though we feel like it doesn't bother us and we can just blow it off, that stuff manifests itself somewhere, sometime. And so the best thing to do is just have those conversations. And so again, I can't emphasize how great it was. Yes, boundaries. That's my thing. Boundaries are so important, but nobody knows your boundaries unless you show them or tell them. And so create those boundaries and then use them, because again, you teach people how to treat you. And then sometimes if people can't accept the boundaries, can't respect the boundaries, my cutoff game is strong, because I spent too many years of my life accepting toxicity, which was starting to turn me into a toxic person, a resentful person. And then I realized all I have to do is create these boundaries. All I have to do is eliminate people's access to my life. Oh, that's all I got to do? Yeah, that's what I did, because I decided one day to choose me. I decided one day to live my life, L.Y.F.E, love yourself first explicitly. I decided one day that I was worth it. I decided one day that I deserved it. And I chose me. And that was the best decision that I ever could have made. Again, in a perfect world, could it be kumbaya, relationship with everybody? Everybody's happy, peaceful. Yes, of course, that would be my ultimate desire. However, everybody doesn't have the mindset. Everybody's not ready for that. And sometimes us staying in relationship with people is prohibiting them for their growth. Sometimes your absence is what might be the eye opener to make somebody realize that they have to do something different. And we talked about that tonight as well. I so hope that you all, you know, you don't necessarily have to go back and watch my video from tonight, because my video from earlier tonight is not the best, which is why I came on. Hey, Grammy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm here late trying to explain myself what happened earlier, but I'm glad that a few people were able to jump on. But yeah, if you can go to the AOC Tarrant County Facebook page, the entire podcast from tonight is on there, and theirs is quality. But it was just a wonderful conversation with a fantastic group of women. I just love it. Like I said, anytime. I mean, we had, like I said, Nana from Nana's Kitchen was there. Lakedra Brown, Dr. Lakedra Brown was there. Kelly Allen Gray was there. Who else was there? We had LaWanda Peoples there. Just an awesome. And the fact that Kelly has entrusted me with the one to be able to orchestrate and run and facilitate and moderate the conversation with these fantastic women is also just such a blessing to me. And I'm just honored to be able to do that every other month. It's just, it's fantastic. And I love having the conversations with them. I love the fellowship and socialization that we have afterwards, and just being able to chat with each other. Oh yeah, that's your first. Yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl. She's cool people. I've been knowing her for years and years. But yeah, it's just amazing to be able to just sit amongst like-minded women. And one thing to always be open-minded. Never feel like you have to be the smartest one in the room. Never feel intimidated by being around other women who are achieving and excelling, because once you open yourself up to that and have no type of insecurities about it, and just kind of let your walls down, you can grow so much. And that's the thing too. We had women of all different age groups in there. And so I really encourage y'all to just kind of keep up with what we have going on. We will be doing this every other month. Like I said, the next one is July 18th, and we will be talking about women and our sex life, and a healthy sex life, and healthy mindset around sex. And so nothing, you know, X-rated, nothing that mature folks can't be able to handle. But again, these are candid, crucial conversations. We want to talk about the things that people don't normally want to talk about. And the things that people don't normally want to talk about are the things that need to be talked about the most, right? And so that's the vision that Kelly has. And y'all know that that's something I stand on all the time. We have to have these conversations. It's the sweeping under the rug. It's the hiding behind the door. It's all of those things that have gotten us in a place where a lot of us just aren't equipped to be able to function healthily, because we didn't have these conversations, or our parents didn't want to have the conversations with us. And it's the conversations. I say so many serious issues could be resolved if people were just mature enough and courageous enough to have the conversation. And so it's really great. And I love the fact that this has come together. And again, there'll be different women who will be showing up as well. Nice. I'll go back and listen and look forward to the next one. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, don't listen to it too much on my channel, because I didn't have everything together. But if you go to AOC's Facebook page, let me try to see if I can put their link in here, because they're going to be the ones who have the good quality. And that's another thing that vision that Kelly had, because she, with AOC, which is the AIDS Outreach Center in Tarrant County, she wanted people to know that they care about all people, and they're here for the mental and physical health of all people, not just people with AIDS and HIV. I mean, of course, that's going to be their main thing. That's their target audience. But this is just a vision that she had, because she wants people to know that they're dealing with the whole person. And so I love that as well. So I have them coming up here. Let me go to their page. And then I'll put the link in here so y'all can check it out. And please follow the page and the other things that the organization does, because they're just awesome. I go to their gala every year, which is always a lot of fun. They have it on, is it, I think it's just called AIDS Day. I don't know. It's like December 2nd, but they have that every year. So I'm putting their link in here. Oops. Really? Is that all that copied? Hold on. Y'all know I'm not tech savvy. Give me 1 minute. And it's late. I'm supposed to be in there with my husband. I was like, babe, I got to go live because my podcast didn't go the way I wanted it to go earlier. He's like, all right, babe. Nothing like having a spouse who understands you and respects you. Yes, it's around my birthday. Yep. So there's the link for their Facebook page. So yeah, if you go there, you can see the full thing and the better quality, because we had a professional camera crew there and everything. I mean, everything they do is top notch. And that's the thing, like their galas are phenomenal. Red carpet, the whole deal. I love it. But Kelly is doing a great job. Her team is phenomenal. So I love the outreach that she's doing for the community and showing everybody. And yeah, just say hi when y'all go to the page and let her know that Stae sent you. She is a huge supporter of the L.Y.F.E tribe and just everything I do. She always gets a table at the sneaker ball and the different things that I do for the Black Chamber. And I just love working with her. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all, get you a good circle of like-minded, positive, toxic-free women in your life. It's right here. Let me go. I'll pin it to the top. You know what? You might not see it, Michelle, because you're on Facebook. I am actually broadcasting this mainly to YouTube. So that's probably why you don't see it. I just pinned it to the top, but I'm looking on Facebook. It doesn't come on Facebook the same way. So I'll inbox it to you, but it is there. But if you jump over to YouTube, you'll be able to see the link. It is pinned at the very top, and it may end up popping up on Facebook eventually, but the platforms don't always play well together. So whenever I go live, it's like I try to put it on Facebook, but you know, sometimes it works out the way it's supposed to, and sometimes it doesn't. But I appreciate y'all. It is 10:30 at night. I haven't even had my dinner yet. I was trying to be good because Kelly always has a spread there, but I was trying to be good and not eat any carbs. So I have some chicken salad here because, you know, your girl is still on this healthy lifestyle and weight loss journey. I need to record a video to upload tomorrow about this Wegovy journey, because I'm going to just leave that at that. But I need to go ahead and do that. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, and especially this late in the evening. I appreciate everybody on YouTube as well as everybody on Facebook. I love you guys to bits and pieces. Find yourself a circle, find yourself a tribe. Don't feel like your people have to be your same people. People are in your lifetime for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And, you know, those people who are seasonal, it's time to let them go. So it's just like you wouldn't be out there trying to pick watermelons in the wintertime. Some people are winter people. I don't know why you bringing them into the summertime. And you have to realize that everybody is not meant to go where your journey is taking you. So you have to let people get off at their stop. But your tribe is there, and your lifetime people are there. And remember that when you are building your tribe, it is not about quantity and how many people you have in your tribe. It's about quality. It's about people who are going to pour into you and add value to your life and not just take away. Your relationship should be a two-way street. It should be give and take. You should be giving as well as you're receiving, and vice versa. And, you know, some people are in your life just to take and take and take, and that is not a healthy relationship. And I don't care who they are. And so with that, y'all know the drill. Always be kind, always love one another, but never forget to live your life. L.Y.F.E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Good night.
Living life is Stae. Hey, hey. Living life is Stae. Hey, hey. Living life is Stae. Hey, hey. living life is Stae. Hey, hey, love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you